Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Jesse Jackson III, best-selling author and lead advisor here at the Best Man Company, LLC. Very excited and proud coming off the best year of our practice's history, the 2021-22 campaign. We were able to help more organizations than we've ever helped in our time, and we were able to see more growth. 90% of everybody who we work with, they were able to show the culture and climate growth that you look for. And those are some basic things where we know that people are coming to work, people are productive. We are getting some degree of academic movement and gains. I mean, I even had some schools literally, I believe, are going to go blue ribbon through this COVID cycle, which is highly impressive. A lot of my schools were able to maintain their A with all of the bumps and changes that we're going on. So I'm proud that where we spend our time, where we invest our energy, that our clients are getting the support and guidance that they need. The one thing that's come out of the last 3 years for me, particularly with training so many people, during the COVID year, we were over 12,000 people on our Zooms, right? Over this past year, we were once again back into thousands of people who physically came in person. The one thing that I am really understanding as we're going into very advanced stages of leadership, very unique, dangerous times, is there's going to be a greater need for more advising, more one-on-one, smaller groups, and where leadership's going to need time to be able to give feedback, go over ideas, and it's not just so much the training component. It's the one-on-one, it's the advising, it's the coaching, it's the personal PD that you're giving the superintendents, giving the school boards. They're going to need it because they see, as a leader, what you don't want to practice doing, you want learning environments for leaders. A lot of times in the PD world, the school administration, they either go to a district-wide something, which everybody needs to understand is a hit or miss. Most time miss, waste of time. It's a hit or miss. It's policy, it's theory. Right. And a lot of times you go to the conferences. Now, once again, guys, I could show you hundreds of messages in the last 30 days of leadership that have gone to these conferences, and all they're getting is Google check boxes and things we think people want to hear. In this period, I want y'all to take a look at something, and I'm talking to school board members. If you look here over the next 3 to 5 years of our business, you're talking the challenges, man. Health and safety, morale, burnout, race management, growing the leadership within the company, okay? Toxic workplace culture, trauma, employee retention, enrollment, attendance, behavior issues among our students, the suicide and violence among our students, the loss of class time and getting kids caught up, parent cooperation, and the overall trust issues in the organization. These are real workplace issues that every school board has to take very seriously. We went through a period of time where I don't believe we understood the real value of the school board. There's a lot of new school board members, a lot of new school board presidents around the country. And I do not believe we have really began to understand what school boards really mean to the overall outcome of a school district. The school board is responsible for the entire education process. They are the overseer. I want us to think about this. As I've sat with more school boards over this last 3 years through critical periods of world history, American history for sure, I'm starting to see the hunger in school boards to get it right. And school boards now are going to have to be trained at a higher level than they've ever been trained before, coached at a higher level than ever before. Why? The stakes are higher. Why? The information is changing and moving around. So one of the things that we did in this coaching program, which is designed for school boards, we call it the Elite School Board Institute. It is a full school year long program, which allows for monthly professional development videos for the entire school board to have access to, and for the select person on the school board to have access to call and to reach out to me and to get some one-on-one, some guidance or feedback on certain things. Now, what this is not something that is a go behind the superintendent's back. So one of the things that I've been very, very clear about, if a school board does not have a superintendent you love and believe in, then get one. Because what's not going to happen is it's not going to be the back and forth. What I do, I pride myself on the ethics of being able to operate very clear in the best interest of the program and the community. We all work for the school board. We would not play that game with the superintendent. The superintendent and school board are partners. And that's exactly why I'm there, for the school board and superintendent to be partners. And I can tell you right now, if I do not feel that that school board is supporting that superintendent, I don't want to be a part of it right now, because you're not ready to build culture. Right now, there's a breakdown in the relationship. Now, if you're a school board and you're saying, hey, we want to improve our relationship with our superintendent, we want to know how we can help our superintendent be the best they can be and help our company go to the level we want it to go. I want to be a part of that. So in this program, as a monthly program with the education that we put out, we're talking about things like building and maintaining effective team culture. That's between the school board and the superintendent's office. There has to be harmony in that relationship. How do you fully understand the population which you are governing for as a school board? And then how can a school board member best partner and support the superintendent? You're talking about some very, very complicated issues that we need to review. As we have more new board members, we have to understand that there's going to be new superintendents. It becomes very important to really understand what that purpose is of a school board today. With so many new school board members, I mean, there's some things we really need to understand. It is a very powerful position that can literally bring prosperity to a region, or literally bring a famine and a cycle of failure economically to a region with bad policies and bad legislation from its board. But the school board members are there to serve the community. They represent the community's interests and diverse values and beliefs. And so there are three key things I really like to work with my boards on. I like my boards to be as savvy as I like my teaching staff to be. It's just some things you got to understand. When you are a governing board, you got to understand what that classroom looks like. You got to understand what those halls look like. You got to understand what that principal office look like. These are things that a school board must understand moving forward. Now, key roles of a school board that I really have seen great value in helping out with is one, the hiring and evaluating of the superintendent. So not so much in the evaluating that is the board's to do, but in the hiring process, right? When a board reaches out to us and they say, we need your company to help us to pick a new superintendent. There's going to be a transition of power, or this person is retiring, or this person is moving on, or we don't want this person. What I will not do is I will not get in the middle of a toxic relationship between the superintendent and the school board. I just won't be a part of that. That doesn't make any sense. It's not what I do. But when you are ready to evaluate and hire a new superintendent, how does that process look? The board has to know how to go through the process. Now, typically, let me show you what's happening. This is what we school boards are doing. They are seeking the guidance of the lawyer, which you should do. I mean, you should always listen to your lawyer, but what do you mean? I don't get that. Okay, a superintendent is a politician that's being elected by a school board for specific jobs. And this is what I want you guys to know. I want you to know what those jobs are. I want you to know what you should expect from them, what you should not. So when you know what to expect, the relationship it will improve with a superintendent. A lot of times there are some very erroneous expectations of a superintendent, expecting too much or too little. I have seen people be expected to do too much. Typically, I have seen some horrible expectations. Then I've seen some low ones where the person really gets away with doing zero. and the company suffers. All the good teachers leave, and we just are in horrible, dire straits. Why? Because the school board sets the standard. So in hiring, evaluating the superintendent, adopting district policies, some big time policies boards are going to be a part of now. Looking at suspension, expulsion, right? It's critical matters such as sexual misconduct, fighting. The board now has to legislate and say, hey, this is what we're doing. Here's where we're going with this. And then monitoring district performance. Then the board needs to know the discipline numbers at all times. You should never, ever as a board not know your discipline data. You should know your test scores and you should know your discipline data. That is something that, listen, it's in the best interest that you know that, because how are you going to be educated and legislate appropriately? You've got some things we've got to know to be successful. Now, once again, a school board's job is to support its superintendent. If you don't have a superintendent that you want to support, you should get a new one. Okay? There's some relationships that are already broken, and sometimes if the superintendent and like the board, they got off on the wrong foot, we can improve it. Why? They're based on trust. We're partners. We work together, right? I like to see a lot of times bringing people closer together. I've actually prided myself on seeing situations where the superintendent and board, we brought them closer together, got them a little bit more on the same page. If you have that opportunity to select and hire the one you want, you got to set that person up for success. And then what reasons are you hiring a person? Is it a person you can control? Is it a person you see as weak-minded, is going to kind of entertain you and you could stop by and talk to anytime? That's not what the SUP job is about. And that's not what your job is as a board member. The reason we made the Elite School Board Institute was to provide the proper coaching to a school board that want to achieve the level of a legacy board. That is a board that makes the place, makes the district better than it was before you got on that board. That means we will remember the contributions of this school board for years, decades to come. That's what all of our objectives should be. And over the course of the year in this program, we have to deal with the real deal. We put it out there and we build board capacity. How do we build and maintain an effective co-team culture? This is where we support each other. We work together. Superintendent, we work together. How does the board best partner and support the school superintendent and support those schools that are on the ground? Right. Don't be a board member that they call and basically say, hey, somebody did something wrong, tell on them. No, a board that's proactive, is educated, but a support system to the SUP, the central office, all the principals, all the schools. And how do you fully understand the population in which we're serving? Because that population has changed. So if you're a high performing district, I guarantee you there are serious changes within your company. And I like my board to be very, very aware, savvy, and ahead of every curve. What do you get in this monthly professional development video for all of the board to view, discuss, and you get one-on-one access to me where I can support you on issues, where you can call and talk over things. Once again, things are confidential, but we don't do the divide and conquer. We don't do the split. We're there for support, and we're running a team program. So we're not running an off the record program. If we're a board, here's my rule for all my boards. We stick together. And I am very serious about that. We stick together. We can always have a difference of opinion, a difference of view, but we always stick together. That's what the coaching program is about. You can get me when you need me, email me when you need me, and everybody gets a copy of our Closing the School Board Gap, which gives the blueprint of the need for today's school boards to be operating at a much higher level. If you know you need this for your team and that school board and want to give them a learning opportunity, it's one flat fee for the entire school year. I would love to work with your board and help you achieve your goals. Get in our program today. I'm looking forward to working with you soon. Be well.